So I thought I'd make a little explanation video on the shelving, on how and why I've chosen this way of shelving. Now, in an ideal world, it would be easy to see shelving. It would be on the lid, would be on the inside. Whatever's on the lid is on the inside. Slightly bigger ones behind, and the big stuff would be really in the back, easy to see, but that takes a lot of depth. So what I'm doing here, this shelf is homemade. Obviously you've got to make it, there's a lot of weight on these shelves, so you've got to make it out of substantial wood anyway to begin with, and you've got to bolt through the joints here. You see, that wood is not only just sitting there, but it's bolted and connected. So we start at the bottom. We make the bottom one generally always a gallon can, so you can put something the size of a gallon can. And then the next level up is the big jars. So we've got two levels of big jars here. Two levels of big jars. But that doesn't fit in there because it allows me space to put smaller jars in. So we have two levels of slightly smaller jars. But now we're at eye level, you can see a lot more, a lot deeper into the shelf, so that's not going to fit there. So now we move on to smaller jars. And then another eye level here, we can see. Now, what happens here, because this is up and out of the way, generally speaking, what's in front is behind. So what you're looking at in front is what's behind. So blue bolts in front, blue bolts behind. Connections behind, that's even got one on top. So I know there's three there of those. This one, the same behind. These fixings, the same behind. So it goes all the way along. These tech screws, I know there's a tech screw behind. So everything up there, generally there's two of, because they're a bit out the way. And these are the odd ones, you know. So we'll come down here now and we'll look at these. Now if I see them, I know I've got a lot of them, especially if I've got one sitting on the top. So we've got that full of them, and that full of them, and we've got the one behind that full of them, and we've got the one behind that full of them, and we've even got the one behind that full of them. So when you've got a lot of them of the same thing, you make a row, a bit like shops really, isn't it? Yeah, I took that idea from shops. So now here we come. Now, you know, we were talking about these cabinets. I forgot to show you my piece de resistance. Yeah, my big bit. Now this is my best bit. Here we are. These, they can carry the weight. They can't obviously carry the big jars, but when you've only got a handful of most stuff, you haven't got a lot of most stuff, but you want to separate them into different places, I always put them, and I try and put nuts and bolts together. I always try and put nuts and bolts together. So we've got that one, and we've got this one. Sometimes it's just, well, sometimes it's just nuts. Whatever fits in that jar is what goes in that jar. We've also got this one. Same again, look. I've put the big light on to illuminate it because it's a bit dark in this corner. But if you just want that sort of washer, just that sort of washer. Very easy to see. And these handle the weight. And look, occasionally one breaks. But it don't matter if it breaks, because all we have to do is replace it. It's only glass. There's another one here, look. Full of whatever's on the top is on the inside. So there's that one full. You wouldn't have just one full, would you? You can see these have fairly recently been added because they're a bit cleaner. But whatever's on the inside, oh, I've been changing because the glass front one goes on the shelves, but whatever's on the lid is on the inside, which you've only got a handful of them, you know. Yeah. because the lid that matters here, not the jar underneath. Same again. Here we go again. Whatever is on the lid is on the inside. And always, whenever I grab anything, say I wanted these now, I try and make a habit of, when I take one out or use one, I always give them a nice spray of WD-40. Just give them a drink whilst you open them. That's there, that's shut, that stays there for a long, long time. So if you just want one of those, you use it, you give it a drink, put the lid back on, you're back there again. So that's a bit of an add-on about why I really do like the shelves. Don't put too much weight in, but you can still fairly well fill them. And then put these, organise your stuff. Same on here. I know what I've got. Finding it is another problem, but at least I know roughly what I've got. So I hope that helps you invent, because the good thing about having a man cave is you're in charge. You're doing it your way. You're not doing it the way the boss says. You're not doing it any other way. You're doing it your way. So it's Reggie's way or no way. And you see how this is a brick building and then there's a pillar here. So all you do is you work around the pillar and you put little ones, little shelves here. That's where they all go. Let's just pull them out of the way. There we are. Move the shelves out of the way. And the little ones. And the big stuff I hang up on a nail. I just cable tie them together. And you know, the bit of a one-off stuff. The bigger stuff. So that's my that's the way I sort of organise my shelving, if it works. And then obviously there's a few odd ones up there that have come along, but they're in clear jars, so they're easy to see when I'm looking, when I'm searching. So I generally, on a general rule, I pretty much know where everything is. So yeah, make the shelves to suit you, not what you buy or not what somebody wants to sell you. Make your own shelves and make them work for you.